the last issue that was published during Gurudev's time. Number 22, Karthik 2010. This issue I got in Bangalore in 2010. So when Gurudev was sick, when he was a little sick, when he was in Giridhari Gaudiya Mutt, then the devotees, they presented this copy to him. So these are like one of the last books he of course he's seeing every book. Manifest way, these are like one of the last books that he saw. This one and the Bhagavatam that Tirtha Maharaj had translated into Hindi also he offered to Gurudev. Because he was, Tirtha Maharaj was going to translate the 10th, 11th and 12th canto into Hindi. Because in Hindi, they did the 1st to 5th canto with only the verse translations, but no purports. So Gurudev, he wanted that the 10th, 11th and 12th canto come out in Hindi. Because Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, he translated until the 11th chapter of the 10th canto. Until Brahma Vimohan Leela, he had translated. After that, he did not translate. His disciples translated. So Gurudev, he wanted that 10, 11, 12 be finished. So Tirtha Maharaj, he was given that task. So he did until last Panchadai, Tirtha Maharaj. And he showed to Gurudev. Gurudev very happy, blessed him. This one, that book, Tirtha Maharaj's Bhagavatam, and there was another book, Chaitanya Leela for Children. In that book also they offered to Gurudev. Very nice book, Chaitanya Leela for Children. It has very nice illustrations, pictures, drawings. So that book also they offered. And I think one or two more, but I forgot. Those ones I remember. So this one, here, this song, in the introduction it says that the author of this song, Sri Gopal Govinda Mahanta, has introduced himself as Vaishnav Das. So Sri Gopal Govinda Mahanta was a resident of Sri Hatta in present-day Bangladesh. So Sri Hatta is the place of Mahaprabhu's father. Sri Jagannath Mishra, he was born there in Sri Hatta. Also Mukunda Vaidya in Mayapur, the doctor who used to treat patients and cure them of their material existence, he was also from this place, Sri Hatta. So many of Mahaprabhu's associates were from this place, Sri Hatta. So he was also from here, this person, this Gopal Govinda Mahanta. He had been completely unacquainted with Sri Gaudiya Mutt. Yet, after hearing the glories of Srila Prabhupada's Acharyatva, his spiritual mastery, in 1925, he composed this simple and extremely charming song. So 100 years back, he wrote this song. And not even seen Prabhupada. Not even been to where Prabhupada had spoken Harikatha, nothing. But because of Prabhupada's preachers, his devotees would go here and there preaching. So he had heard from them. So after hearing from them, then he wrote this song. Which gives a very simple but very profound account of Srila Prabhupada's preaching activities. He sent this song to Sri Gaudiya Mutt at the time of the Mutt's anniversary festival. So in the Gaudiya Mutt, they have a yearly festival called a Varshik Utsav. All the Gaudiya Mutts, they follow this tradition even now. Like any Gaudiya Mutt you see, Vrindavan, Vinodvani, Rupsamath, all them, every year they go around celebrating this Varshik Utsav. ISKCON also has its Varshik Utsav, yearly festival, ISKCON Vrindavan. You know when? Ram Navami. That was the day the deities were installed. So on Ram Navami, they have their yearly festival, ISKCON, on the day of the installation of the deities. So here also in the Gaudiya Mutt, every year they would have festival. Certain festivals where many devotees from everywhere, they would come, they would assemble and Prabhupada would speak Harikatha. And he would also appreciate the services rendered by the devotees. He would have these Gaur Ashirvad certificates. Means, he would organize an assembly, a sabha, called the Navadip Pracharini Sabha. So in this Navadip Pracharini Sabha, he would note all the services that the devotees had rendered and he would give certificates to them. Gaur Ashirvad certificates. Means he would say Mahaprabhu's blessing you. Even now you can see those certificates. They have scanned them, all those certificates. There is a book called Swaparshad Srila Prabhupada. It is available in Bengali and Hindi. So the devotee who compiled this book on the lives of all the different disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he has put some of the certificates in that book. He has scanned them and he has printed them in that book. Very beautiful certificates. Prabhupada has handwritten certificates. You see Prabhupada's handwriting, you'll be like amazed by his handwriting, just like pearls. So most of them, they got these handwritten certificates from him. He was encouraging them in their services, because all of them very new. They were early 20s, late 20s, very new people, all of them. So he was encouraging them, like how a father would encourage them. And he would also give them all these names, titles. Like for Param Gurudev, he gave which title? He gave one title, no, to Param Gurudev. What was the title he gave? Acharya? Prabhupada, what title he gave to Param Gurudev? Not Acharya Keshari. Acharya Keshari, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj gave later. It translates into English as the jewel of all activities. What is it? Ratna, first word? Not Seva. Seva Ratna is another Vaishnava. What is it? Kriti Ratna. Kriti Ratna. He gave that title to Srila Param Gurudev. And to others he gave other titles. Like for Sant Maharaj he gave Rag Kumut. Rag Kumut means his heart is like a kumut flower which is always blossoming in this dark moonlit night. When the moon is rising, then his heart blossoms. Means when Hari Kirtan is going on, his heart is always blossoming. So then for Madhusudan Maharaj he gave Bhakti Kamal. For Narsingh Maharaj he gave Bhakti Bhushan, means very proficient in all the different activities that he did. Bhakti Kumud. Then he gave Vidya Bhushan, this title, to many devotees. Means the jewel of all transcendental knowledge. Also he gave Vidya Alankar, means the ornament of all Vidya. To Bhakti Brahmapuri Maharaj he gave the title, Vidya Alankar. Pratya Vidya Alankar. And to Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj he gave this title, Vidya Vagish. Means Sarasvati Devi is on his tongue. Every time he speaks Harikatha, he speaks so eloquently that it seems Saraswati Devi herself is blessing him. Upadeshak, very good instructor. Maha Upadeshak, Maha Upadeshak. So all these titles he would give them and he would encourage them to continue their services. Because when he started preaching, like we heard today in Harikatha, he had to face so much opposition from all different sections of society. People were so much against him. In fact, one disciple of Prabhupada, his daughter was supposed to get married, and on that day, when the bridegroom, he was supposed to arrive, that time some villagers from that place went and told that bridegroom's family that don't let your son marry this person's daughter. This person, he is a member of the Gaudiya Math. He is Prabhupada's disciple. And they don't follow any caste, nothing, no caste, no creed. So if you're marrying your daughter, if you're marrying your son to such a person's daughter, then what will become of your own caste? You will fall down from your caste and your standing in society. Don't marry your daughter, your son to her. So on the day of the marriage it was cancelled. Just because he was Prabhupada's disciple. And then this devotee, all that feast he had cooked for his daughter, everything, he took everything and he gave that to the Gaudiya Math. All the brahmacharis are very happy. Oh, we're having a nice feast today. They thought it was someone's birthday, Muni Maharaj. Then they asked him what happened, and he said, my daughter's marriage is cancelled, so at least Vaishnavas will take part in this feast. And Prabhupada was so sad when he heard this. He says, such a demonic society should be destroyed, he said. What use is there also for such people to live in this world? Later, when Prabhupada's preaching, when his disciples started preaching, there were cases when there was one person. He was a disciple of Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, one of his senior most. I think his name was Ashram Maharaj. So when he went to one of the Gaudiya Math programs, he took prasad there. And when he came back home, they asked him where he went. And he said, I went to one Gaudiya Math program. I took prasad there and I came. Then he said, all right, now you go from here, don't come back. They never made him come back home after that. Then after that he joined the temple and he became like a very senior Vaishnava. They had to face so much opposition from all the Brahmins, different sections of society. So he was encouraging them that no matter what happens, you continue. Don't give up. So in all these pracharani sabhas, these assemblies, religious assemblies, he would give out these certificates, hand them out by his own hand. And he would also have many letters that he wrote, handed out to them. Also, when some devotees would write Pushpanjalis for him from different places, then he would have one of his disciples read them out in the assembly. People who could not be there personally present, they would write to him. And he would have all the devotees, he would have all those offerings read out loud. They would all read them. So in this way here, this song, he sent this song to Gaudiya Math at the time of the Math's anniversary festival, yearly festival. Over time, it naturally gained great appreciation and acceptance from all of Srila Prabhupada's disciples and followers, because it is full of the sweetness of Srila Prabhupada's compassion and the perfection of his teachings. So they were also happy with this offering. Very simple offering, but they were so happy with it. Now it is sung in almost all Gaudiya Maths on the appearance and disappearance days of Srila Prabhupada. So in all the Gaudiya Maths they sing this Kirtan. Especially the tradition in the Gaudiya Math is, they all celebrate Prabhupada's Tirubhavtiti in Mayapur. And they celebrate his Avirbhavtiti in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu appeared in Mayapur, he disappeared in Jagannath Puri. So here it is the opposite. His Tirubhavtiti they celebrate in Mayapur, Avirbhavtiti, all of them together they celebrate in Jagannath Puri. It means very prominent celebrations. So therefore this song is so popular in all the Gaudiya Maths. It is sung on the Avirbhav, Tirubhavtiti of Srila Prabhupada. And it has also been included in the Bengali edition of Sri Gaudiya Giti Guch, authorized by Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. So Paramgurudev also liked this song very much. He included in his book, song book. And we are fortunate to have an audio recording of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj personally singing and relishing this song. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj himself used to sing this song. There's a recording also. It is available in purebhakti.com, it says here. But I don't know, like they haven't given more of this, only this much they've said. So generally, everyone glorifies their own Gurudev, and the Vaishnavas were already well known to them. Yet, in this case, a person who had never even met Srila Prabhupada has glorified him with matchless beauty after simply hearing and reading his teachings. This demonstrates Srila Prabhupada's extraordinary eminence among the Vaishnavas of his time. So just by listening. So the first verse, Jai Re Jai Re Jai Paramahamsa Mahashaya Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Thakura Jai Parama Karunamaya Dina Hina Agatira Gati. So this is the Bengali. English it says, all glories to Bhagavan's topmost swan-like devotee, that most magnanimous personality, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He is the master of his senses. He is a Goswami in the true sense. Normally in Bengal, even now, people, they have these titles, Goswami. And they don't follow any devotion. Like sometimes if you go to Mathura, you will see Trivedi Shoe Company. You will see. Like Trivedi means one who knows the three Vedas. And what is he doing? Running a shoe company, a shoe shop. A Trivedi shoe shop. Like he's selling shoes in the name of being a Brahmin, Trivedi. Chaturvedi bakery. He's selling cakes, biscuits in the name of being Chaturvedi, knower of the four Vedas. In fact, when Gurudev he went to the West, one person he told Gurudev that I'm a Brahmin, but I'm selling cow meat, he said. And Gurudev said, what kind of Brahmin you are? By name only you're a Brahmin, but actually you're lower than even like very low caste person. So similarly there in Bengal, many persons have these titles, Goswami, born Brahmins. But here Prabhupada, he was a Goswami in the true sense. Goswami Thakurajai, completely controlled all his senses. Parama Karunamaya, he is filled with the greatest compassion. Dina Hina Agatira Gati, he is the refuge, the shelter of the most unfortunate, destitute souls who have no other refuge. He gave shelter to everyone. There's one nice example. It is said that one person, he wanted initiation from Srila Prabhupada. So then Prabhupada said, all right, I'll give you initiation. So then one disciple of Prabhupada said, oh, Prabhupada, I heard he's eating pork, pig meat. How you can give him initiation? Don't give him, he's lying to you, he's cheating you. And Prabhupada, he asked him, hey, is he speaking the truth? He said, yes, I was eating. He said, no, I'm not. I was eating pork. No, he said. Prabhupada said, you promise? Never even touch anything like that? Never even think in your mind? He said, I promise. Never, he said. Prabhupada said, okay, come on. And he gave him diksha. So this was like a revolutionary in Bengal. Just giving diksha like this to people of different castes. Not just Brahmin caste, any caste who would come. Nilachala Hoila Udoy. So he appeared in Nilachal Dham. And this is the prophecy mentioned in the scriptures. Hayutkala Purushottam. That Bhakti Devi will appear in Purushottam was fulfilled. He appeared there. We know that when he appeared, Rathayatra, when the time came for his grain giving ceremony, because according to Vedic custom, the first grains that are given to a child is Mahaprasad. And sometimes it is seen in the lives of great personalities, they will not eat anything unless Mahaprasad is given to them. Narottam Thakur, when he was born in Keturi, his mother tried feeding him so many times, but he would never accept anything. Only when Mahaprasad was given to him, then he started eating. Srimati Radharani herself, when she was born in Raval, she would not even drink the milk of Kirtida Devi. Only when Yashoda Maya fed Radharani, and she drank Yashoda Devi's milk, then she started drinking Kirtida Devi's milk. Why? She wanted the remnants of Krishna. She didn't want to drink anything separately by herself. So similarly here also, when the grain giving on this ceremony came, then the chariot stopped in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house for many days. And it did not move. They tried so much to move the chariot, but it could not. Finally, when Prabhupada was offered at the lotus feet of Jagannath, one garland from Jagannath fell on him. At that time, very softly. And then Mahaprasad was fed to him. So this way he appeared there. Shri Gauda Mandala Yashi Prema Bhakti Parakashi Jivera Nashilo Bhavabhoy. So when you came to Shri Gauda Mandal, you enlightened everyone about pure loving devotion to Krishna. In this way you have destroyed the living entity's fear of material existence. So whoever took shelter of him were freed. In Assam, in Sarbog, there is a place in Assam called Sarbog. Prabhupada would go there every year for his Vyas Puja. In fact, just before Prabhupada left, he said that I can never leave this place because the people here are so soft-hearted. So in Sarbog, there was one disciple of Prabhupada. What is his name? I think Haridas. So this disciple, he was a follower of Srila Prabhupada, but gradually, as time passed, he gave up everything. It means he again started smoking bidis, again he started drinking wine, eating meat, all these things. So he gave everything up. So when the time when he left his body, this person, this ex-disciple of Srila Prabhupada, former disciple. So when he left his body, it is said that the Yamudutas came for him. Actually, it's a very famous story. Many sannyasis, many devotees speak about it. So when the Yamudutas came for him, then he was like trembling, fear. Now Yamudutas will give him the punishment. But it is said that somehow Maharaj found out that he was a former disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Somehow Maharaj found out that he had served Prabhupada, he had taken his shelter. Maharaj said, or I've heard actually Prabhupada himself appeared there to Maharaj. This is what I heard. Prabhupada himself appeared to him and told him, you see, he's my disciple. Let him go. Give him a second chance. So Prabhupada himself appeared to him and told him that. And then this person, his body was like laid down. His body was up there. They were going to light his body. About to be lit on fire. Perform this anteshti kriya. About to burn his body to ashes. But then he just woke up, like a zombie. He just woke up then. He just opened his eyes and he just woke up then. You can see the reaction then of everyone then. They all started running here and there. Then they asked him what happened. And they said, this is what happened. I went to Yamlok. They were about to punish me so much. But then my Prabhupada, he came and he told Maharaj, give him a second chance. Give him one more. He had even forgotten all his mantras. He had even forgotten his Diksha mantras, everything. Then he went to Madhav Maharaj, his godbrother. And he heard those mantras again from him. And then again he continued with all his practices. It's a very famous story. This one. So this way, he gave shelter to everyone. Tamara mahima gai hena satya moranai tabe pari jadi hoy shakti. Vishwahite avirata achara prachare rata vishuddha Sri Rupanuga bhakti. I do not have the capability to sing your unlimited glories. I can only do so if you empower me. For the welfare of the entire world, you are continuously devoted to practicing and preaching supremely pure devotional service, following the current of thought of Srila Rupa Goswami. This Prabhupada's Vichardhara. One very famous verse he always used to utter was Adadadastinam dante idam yache punapuna Srimad Rupa padam bujaduli shyama janma janmani. He said, my only prayer is to be a particle of dust at the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami life after life. This is my only aspiration, to follow Sri Rupa Raghunath. So this is what Prabhupada came to give, never heard of before. That one has to follow Rupa Goswami and aspire to become a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Because who is he? He is Nayan Mani Manjari. It is said that Srimati Radhika's glance, or rather when she looks at Krishna, then that glance takes a form. And that glance has appeared as Nayan Mani Manjari in this material world. When we speak like this, that her glance takes a form, we think in terms of past, present, future. But in Golok Vrindavan, there is always the eternal present. There is nothing like how we say now, that oh Radharani looked in this direction and then one Manjari will appear from her glance. No. Always there. There never was, always present. So similarly, every bhav of Srimati Radhika, when it takes a form, it assumes the form of a Manjari, maidservant. Like Srimati Radhika's rag, her ever-increasing attachment and love for Krishna, when it takes a form, then it appears as rag Manjari. When her rati takes a form, appears as rati Manjari. When her form, rupa, takes a form, then appears as which? Her personality. Rup Manjari. It is said that she also has this Leela Kamal. Means sometimes Radharani has this flower in her hand and she is always twirling it. She is like circling it. What does it mean? It means she is like churning Krishna's heart. So this twirling of this lotus flower also takes a form as Kamala Manjari. And who is Kamala Manjari? Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Her bhavs, they assume a form, then bhav Manjari. So many different maidservants of hers. They embody one particular mood of Srimati Radhika. Every particular Manjari, maidservant. So this is what Srila Prabhupada came to give to all the fallen jivas of Kali Yuga. He said, if you follow me, then you can also aspire to serve Srimati Radhika like that, as one of her maidservants. There is no greater position for a conditioned soul to achieve than this, to be a Dasi of Srimati Radhika. And this he came to give to everyone. Regardless of whichever caste, creed they belong to, whatever anarthas they have, duskriti, sukruti, still anyone can follow this way. Shri Pata Keturi Dham, Thakura Shri Narottam, Tomate Tahar Guna Dekhi, Shastrera Siddhanta Sar, Shuni Lage Chamatkar, Kutar Kikatite Nare Faki. I see in you the transcendental qualities of Narottam Das Thakur, who appeared in Keturi Gram. Hearing from you the essence of all the conclusions of Shastra, one becomes struck with awe. Prabhupada's language is very profound, very proficient. If you've read Prabhupada's commentary on the Brahma Samhita, it is so confusing. The words he uses, no one even ever speaks about them, all those words. The Brahma Samhita commentary. Like Gurudev was saying that even Tamala Krishna Maharaj and Satsvarup Maharaj, they would tell Gurudev, we've read this book like 20-25 times, but still we can't understand anything. We keep looking in the dictionary again and again, but still can't understand. I remember even when I was in university, when I went to the library, I was reading this Brahma Samhita, because many of Prabhupada's books were in our university library. So then even my teacher was there, in the library there, she was also there, present there. So then I showed her the book. So this lady was actually a very educated lady. She was like, she almost finished her PhD and everything. Almost, she was waiting for the thing, doctorate certificate. And I showed her the Brahma Samhita and I said, ma'am, can you explain something for me? I can't understand. I told her. You explain something, ma'am. And she read like for some 15-20 minutes. I can't understand anything. Nothing. She said, I can't understand anything from here. That's how he was. He said, if one wants to follow spirituality, his mind should be a little refined to understand these lofty subject matters. It is said that once one German man, he was present in this assembly when Prabhupada was speaking Harikatha, and Prabhupada was speaking in English, and he heard this Harikatha and he was like weeping in ecstasy. So Param Gurudev was near him. So Param Gurudev asked him, why you are weeping? He said, I have heard so many different personalities give discourses. So many different people. But what he has spoken is the best, he said. And Param Gurudev said, all right, you explain something to me, what you heard. He said, nothing, I understood. That is why what he said was the best, he said. Because what he spoke is so deep and so grave that I could understand something. The gravity touched his heart. But see, when a pure devotee speaks, even if you don't understand anything, still those words touch your heart. This is called Shabda Brahma. So this is where he knew the essence of all the Shastras. And those who try to contradict Shastra using illogical philosophical debate can never cheat anyone in the wake of your authority. So all these very great scholars of Bengal would always argue with him. Because all these scholars, they were born in very high-class Brahmin families, Chakravarti families, all of them. So when they saw that even people from other castes were being treated equally as Brahmins, they felt very slighted. They're saying that we are born in such nice families and this person who has come from another caste, he is giving him Brahmin thread. And he is also speaking Harikatha, he is also quoting Shastras, and he's attained my same position. So many of them opposed Prabhupada. There was one person, one scholar, his name was Gopendu Panchatirtha. Means he knew all the Shastras from Navadvip. He was like the greatest scholar of Navadvip. So he was like one of Prabhupada's very formidable foes, so-called foes, opponents. Always arguing with Prabhupada. And when Prabhupada disappeared, Param Gurudev, he held this separation festival for Srila Prabhupada in Devananda Gaudiya Math. So that time when he held this separation festival, like 15 years after, not immediately after Prabhupada's disappearance, 15, 16 years after. That time, he made this scholar the chief guest, the Sabhapati. So then everyone was very surprised. And they're like, Maharaj, he used to fight with Prabhupada. He used to try cutting his arguments and you made him the chief guest. But maybe this is not appropriate. Param Gurudev said, no, first let him speak, he said. Let him speak. Let's not judge anyone. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Let him speak. So then when he started speaking, he was speaking from the core of his heart. He was saying, now I'm realizing he's such a great personality, Prabhupada. When he was present, I did not realize. And I tried arguing with him this, that. But now I see, after he has disappeared, what he has done what he has contributed to this world, now I'm realizing. And he was weeping. And he said, no, I cannot even ask for forgiveness from him. So I'm falling at the feet of all the disciples of Prabhupada, who are his representatives, not different from him, and asking for forgiveness. Param Gurudev then told his godbrothers, just see how his heart has been changed. So even such scholars, like in this book, if you see, there is one more discussion that Prabhupada has with another scholar, where the scholar is telling Prabhupada that Bhaktivinoda Thakur had no problem with Leela Kirtans. Well, why are you having such a problem with Leela Kirtan? Leela Kirtan means very confidential Kirtan. Means they sing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, all their Leelas. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to encourage all these people and to bring many people to Mayapur, sometimes he allowed such Leela Kirtans. Although personally he was not so supportive of it. Personally he said people who sing these Leela Kirtans should at least have some qualification, some adhikar. But somehow, to bring everyone, he encouraged these people. But Prabhupada was very strict. He said no means no. So you cannot sing such things openly in the market. So he stopped. So then this scholar also was asking Prabhupada, then does this mean you know more than your Guru, Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Prabhupada said, no, I'm a servant. But still, now I see that the times have changed. Now many people know who Mahaprabhu is, what Mayapur Dham is. So now they have somewhat better understanding than before. So now also he said, be qualified first and then sing Lila Kirtan. During his time, Vibhavari Shesha would not be sung. Banned. Vibhavari Shesha. Because if you see, Vibhavari Shesha is a very confidential Kirtan. It has many deep meanings. Like if you see, Ananda Vardhana Prema Niketana Fulasara Yojaka Kama. This is actually an explanation of the Kam Gayatri. Fulasara Yojaka Kama. Fulasara means ban, arrows. And what is the bow that is used to release these arrows? This way, Kam Gayatri is very confidential explanation, the 5 arrows that Krishna uses. So this is the explanation of that. Yamuna Jivana, Keli Parayana, Manasa Chandra Chakora. Yamuna Jivan means Radharani and all the gopis, they go to the banks of the Yamuna to meet Krishna. And this way, all the leelas that take place there are told in that line. So Prabhupada said, this should not be sung. Not even, also Yashamati Nandan. Because he said, Brajavara Nagara. He is the Nagar, the Nayak of all the gopis. So even this should not be sung. It was very strict. But then later some disciples of Prabhupada, they started singing. Like Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Anant Vasudev Prabhu and others. And then gradually everyone started singing as well. Because now he saw that people are becoming more qualified to sing these kirtans. Now we sing every day during Mangalarti. We are so fortunate. So here it says that Shuddha Bhakti Mata Jato Upadharma Kavalito Heriya Lokera Manatras Hani Susiddhantaman Upadharma Khana Khan Sajjanera Badalo Ullas. When people saw that the conception of pure bhakti had been strangled by false concocted religious systems that only resembled true religion, their minds became troubled by intense anxiety. But by assailing those false religious systems with your sharp arrows of perfect conclusive truth, you have completely shattered them and have made them the hearts of the virtuous swell with delight. At that time, during Prabhupada's time, there was one person called Devendranath Tagore. So he was the brother of Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore, he wrote the national anthem for India. He was the one. He also got a Nobel Prize for literature, Rabindranath Tagore. But they followed this Brahmavad. Means they followed this philosophy which combined the teachings of Jesus Christ and Shankaracharya. So they followed this philosophy. Because Shankaracharya, he believed in the formless form of Bhagavan. But Jesus, at least he believed in some personal conception of God. At least God had some form. Although he was old and he had a graying beard and all of that, still he was something at least. So they combined both. The philosophy of Christianity and the philosophy of Shankaracharya's Advaitavad. But then some people, they started becoming disillusioned with this philosophy. Means they were thinking we cannot follow either of them. Neither can we follow Christianity nor can we follow Shankaracharya's philosophy. So they said better to follow Shankaracharya himself. Why to follow this? And then when they became more exposed to Western thought, then they started deviating from even Shankaracharya. So then Prabhupada said this is what happens when you try mixing many things one after another. He said you have to follow one thing properly under the guidance of an authority, spiritual authority. So these are not just one, but so many other such philosophies that were cropping up during Prabhupada's time. And he spent so much time cutting those jungles, all those different philosophies that were coming up. So here, next it says, that Smarta Matta Jaladhara Shuddha Bhakti Ravakara Achadilo Bhavi Antare Shastra Sindhu Mantanete Susiddhanta Janjavate Udailo Digdigantare. When your thoughts about how the dark storm clouds of the Smarta doctrine had blocked the rays of the sun of pure bhakti, it began to weigh heavily within your heart. You churned the ocean of Holy Scripture and produced a great hurricane of perfect conclusive truth that scattered the dark clouds in all directions. So this pure bhakti was like the sun, very blazing, effulgent, spotless sun. And these clouds of all these misconceptions had covered that sun. So by his Harikatha and by his teachings, all those clouds were scattered away. They all ran away in fear. It is said like the Smarta doctrine especially. The Smartas are Orthodox Brahmins. Means they believe in Brahman, being a Brahmin by birth, and they believe in other such traditions which are not even very practical. But still, the Smartas also, their arguments were cut by Prabhupada. Sthane sthane katamato stapiyacha nishkapata prema seva shikaite jive mathera vaishnava gan kare sada vitaran hari guna kathamrita bhave. You have established mutts in so many places in order to teach everyone Krishna Bhakti. And the devotees of your mattas are incessantly engaged in distributing Harikatha throughout the universe. So he said, a Gaudiya Math means a training center. Because what is the meaning of Gaudiya? It means the follower of Gauri Devi, Srimati Radhika. This is the meaning of Gaudiya. So Gaudiya Math actually means a Kunja of Srimati Radhika. This is what it means. It means one is being trained up in the Kunja of Srimati Radhika, and then gradually when he attains perfection, then he will go there. And then he will serve personally there, that Kunja as well, of Srimati Radhika. So he said this is what the Gaudiya Math is. Training center, where all the 64 limbs of bhakti are practiced, of devotion, one after another. Especially the 5 most important limbs. Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Shrimurti Shraddha Sevan, Sadhu Sangha and Mathuravas. Especially they are practiced in the Math. Mathuravas means, he said, any place where Harikatha is being spoken, where Kirtan is going on, that place is not different from Mathura or Vrindavan. So this way he opened all these different training centers, and anyone could be admitted in that training center. Anyone. Even person who had many shortcomings. There was one person who was very attached to one lady, and he left the temple, or he was meant to leave. His godbrother said, you cannot stay in this temple, you leave from here. You're attached to one woman and you're staying, serving here, you go away. So that he was meant to leave. Then Prabhupada one day he came and he saw, he said, where is the brahmachari? I don't see him. And they told him, oh, he was attached to some lady, some girl, so he chased him away from here. And Prabhupada said, how can you do that without even asking me? Then he sent one of his brahmacharis, Giri brahmachari. So Giri brahmachari, he went looking for that person, and he found him, he was working in some watch factory, making wristwatches. And he said, hey, Prabhupada is calling you back. And as soon as he heard Prabhupada is calling me back, he started crying so much. He said, Prabhupada remembers me. He said, look what has become of me. I became attached to that lady and I left everything and I'm nowhere now. Then immediately he ran to where Prabhupada was and he fell at the feet of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, now don't leave here, resume your services again. This way, he established all these training centers where Harikatha was spoken so much at all times of the day. Shuddha Bhakti Mandakini Vimala Pravahani Shitala Karila Tapta Pran Deshe Deshe Nishkinchan Prela Vaishnavagan Vistarite Hari Gunagan. He brought the immaculate current of this pure Ganga into this world, and he has soothed and pacified the burning lives of all the souls who reside here. He dispatched his Nishkinchan devotees to every nation to spread Harikatha. At that time he sent even his preachers to the west. He sent his preachers even to what we call Pakistan. Now Pakistan, if you see, is a very hostile country to Vedic culture. But he sent his preachers even there. Sridhar Maharaj went to Karachi in Pakistan. He established center there in Karachi also. Like, means they rented one place and they spoke Harikatha. To Bangladesh, to Burma, Sri Lanka, and even to England and all these places he sent his preachers. And this way, when everyone was bathing in that pure stream of Harikatha, that pure Mandakini, they felt so refreshed. Means Sarvatma Snapanam, completely bathed themselves. So just as Sri Gaurahari cut the doctrine of impersonalism and made all the residents of Kashi into pure devotees, you have also brought contentment to the city of Varanasi through the tenets of Vaishnava philosophy. Means Varanasi is a place of Mayavadis. They don't believe in the personal form of Krishna. But Prabhupada established a center there called Sri Sanatan Gaudiya Math. And this way he trained everyone to become Vaishnavas there. So even Kashi was made into a Vaishnava place. In accordance with the logical conclusions of Shastra, you have determined with certainty that the heart and soul of Vedic social order is in fact devotion to Hari, Daivi Varnashram Dharma. For even a vast amount of knowledge of mystic power or the fruit of labor has no value if it is in any way opposed to Bhakti. So why did he establish this Daivi Varnashram Dharma? Because the Atma is the soul And the body is varnashram dharma. If there is no body, then how will the Atma even act? The soul cannot act on its own because it needs a medium. And the medium is the body. And for the body, it has to be disciplined according to certain rules and regulations. And how can it be disciplined? By following varnashram dharma. So he said, follow this varnashram dharma, but with this thought of always cultivating the activities of your soul. Atmanushila, Krishnanushila. This is why he established it. Oh great-hearted soul, by bringing everyone to this Gaudamandal, you made them do parikrama. And you established the glories of Mayapur Dham. Thus you made the entire world aware that Gaudamandal is not different from Brajamandal. It is that same abode. This way he made everyone come to Mayapur. Everyone started doing parikrama. Everyone started rolling in the dust of that Dham. Because Krishna has given a blessing that if anyone comes to the Dham, listens to Harikatha and all those different places, does Kirtan, takes the dust and places on his head, he will get prem. Immediately. Here immediately means 2 or 3 lifetimes. Not, or even 5 or 6 lifetimes. Or even hundreds of lifetimes. Because if you say we have been conditioned since like trillions of lifetimes, zillions of lifetimes. So if you think in that grand scheme of time, then if you say all these hundreds of lifetimes like one drop, this is like nothing. This is immediate. You have forgiven the offenses of the atheists who tried committing so many atrocities against you in Navadip town. No, Nityananda Prabhu, one Jagai and Madhya attacked Nityananda Prabhu. But in Navadip, thousands of Jagais and Madhyas attacked Prabhupada. Thousands. But he gave all of them prem. How? Through Param Gurudev. He established Devananda Gaudiya Math there. Within this assembly of Vaishnavas, you are decorated by the title Bhaktaraj, the emperor among all worthy personalities. You have renounced all forms of worldliness and devoted yourself to the welfare of all the residents of this material world. He said, live for the sake of others. So now we'll speed up, it's getting time. So you are engaged in welfare work so that the living entities will attain service to Krishna, which is the highest welfare of all. By this, the diseased state of mundane existence is cured. All the karmic reactions are smashed and they will attain Sri Hari's lotus feet. You sent the Gaudiya, the magazine, the messenger from Vaikuntha, house to house, and you made everyone realize, get up brothers, please hear me, there is no more time, worship Krishna, chant his names. So the Gaudiya magazine is very beautiful. This Gaudiya magazine now has been archived in one place called Bhaktivedanta Research Center in Kolkata. The son of Sundarananda Prabhu, one very prominent disciple of Prabhupada, he had this library. So he had all these different magazines in the library. So ISKCON went to him and they said, we'll buy your library. And he said, what? How can I just buy my library? I'm not going to sell it to you, obviously. Now, all these magazines are like priceless, how can I just sell it to you? Then they said, no, we'll give you money in return. He said, no way. He said, you're trying to buy what has been collected here. So then another Vaishnava, he was approached and he said, we'd rather give it to you. And he was given and he took responsibility, saying, all right, if they archive and scan everything, then I promise that nothing will be done. So then ISKCON, they archived and scanned everything and they put it in this Bhaktivedanta Research Library in Kolkata. Very important place. So in this way you engage, in this way your Supreme Lord, the divine qualities of Sri Hari emanates from your lotus lips, and anyone who hears it feels like a compassionate shower of nectar, and all their ignorance is dissipated. O great-hearted soul, in your heart there is not even the smallest drop of desire for fame. Your transcendental qualities play upon the chords of my voice like a musician playing the strings of his veena, and they're making me sing your glories. So see how ornamental his language is. I have heard from the mouths of saints and Sri Guru that singing about the glorious qualities of Vaishnavas is the cause of salvation, for it awakens Krishna Bhakti. His life then becomes completely successful. I am like a dwarf trying to catch the moon, he says. The moon I have spotless glories, I am trying to catch it. And because you do not perceive faults, please forgive me, because I am a fallen soul. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the eternal companion of Gauranga, is the greatest friend of the unfortunate fallen souls. In order to destroy the darkness of this age, he has brought you here, like the spotless moon. Please distribute your mercy to all living beings. Please make them drink the nectar of prema again and again. Let them go completely mad in pure love for Krishna. Make all the people of this world dance in Harinam Sankirtan. This is Vaishnava Das's humble entreaty. So we'll stop here. And these are the glories of Srila Prabhupada. And this way, his glories are unlimited, no end. There is one very nice story. It is said that Prabhupada's elder brother, Annada Prasad, he went mad He was the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but we went mad for many years. And when he was about to die, just a few days before he was about to die, he became sane. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur arranged for Prabhupada to chant like 1 lakh Harinam every day in his room. And then while Prabhupada was chanting 1 lakh Harinam every day in his room, gradually this person who was mad completely, he had no consciousness, no, like just speaking like a foolish person. But then when he started hearing Prabhupada Harinam, then gradually started reciting so many shlokas, stutis, and everything. And then finally, all this Sri Vaishnava tilak appeared on his forehead, on the 12 parts of his body. Then he said, in my previous life, I was a Sri Vaishnava, but I spoke very badly about the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So I committed many offenses at their lotus feet. And because of that, I became mad in this life. And now that I've taken shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his son, Prabhupada Vimala Prasad, I've been forgiven for my offense. And this way, all those Sri Vaishnava tilak marks appeared in his body and he left his body. There was like a very bright effulgence that lit up the entire room. And everyone saw his soul like depart his body. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has even written an essay in his Sajjan Toshali called Achyutananda Niryam. He named his son Achyutananda. So he wrote an essay speaking about his demise. So there's so many beautiful glories which are our assets in our spiritual lives, which is our wealth. We can only hope that we can inherit this wealth. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada Tiruvavtidi ki jai, Sabarsha Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tiruvavti Bhankari Bhattara ki jai, Vidai Gaur Premanam, Vanchaka Bhattara Vishwa Kapasamresh, Tanam Bhavai Vishwa